Hey everybody, I'm doing something a little bit different with this video today. I wanted to show some behind the scenes, if you will, of my process, which was really just me recording my desk setup. It's pretty messy. Also, that clip in the beginning, if I didn't put text over this, because I don't know how I'm going to edit it, was some thunderstorms we had roll through the other night, and I was the only person in my house awake to witness it. So I just love that kind of stuff, and I know that I don't live in a very beautiful place, but I thought it was cool to kind of experience it. And I love the rain. God, I love the rain. I'm such a sucker. I'm also a huge fan of our orange little street light because most of the lights outside now are so neon white and blinding. So I don't know, I think he has character. I'm a big fan of him. So that was his moment to shine. Pun intended. No, I'm sorry. Wow. Hey, it's because I am the artist behind this channel. I make webcomics. You might know me for Haunting Dagger. You might know me for Lucky. You might know me for the things that I would only post after hours on Patreon. Don't tell my parents. Actually, I don't give a damn what they know about me or not. I hope that you're all doing well. I'm so excited that you're here on my channel. And I'm working on my comic in this video. This is the new page. Well, not the new page as of currently, but one of the newer pages of Haunting Dagger that is a part of the Fast Pass experience that you can get on my Patreon. I don't recommend anyone under the age of 18 seek out my Patreon, or anyone that is not a fan of adult content, because it is rampant with that. That is what funds my ability to even make my webtoons. So if you don't like that kind of stuff, don't worry about it. Just read the free stuff over on Webtoon, because you'll get to it eventually. But I'm kind of curious about this setup, so you guys can tell me if you like it or not. But I tried doing the one where I recorded a video like I was doing a live stream and I just spoke during the process, and I do like doing that, but that would be a one take situation. If I mess up anything that I'm trying to say, if I stumble over my words or whatever, I kind of have to live with that mistake in those kinds of videos. And while I'm okay with that, because I've always been a YouTube creator that is very much you get what you get, because this is the best that I can do with the time constraints that I have, I do want to try to make a little bit more of an effort when I am able to. As of right now, I am in the process, not on screen, but off screen. I am working on sketching 4 pages in one day and inking a couple before I go to bed, and then inking a couple in the morning, which is crazy work, but also we're going to be busy the next few weeks, and I want to try to get ahead of this while I still can. And so I'll kind of tell you a little bit about what I'm working on and what sort of things I have done recently and where you can find it, and also answer a couple of questions that I got on the post specifically requesting Q&A. So again, I work on 2 webcomics. One is still officially on hiatus, but it's the comic that I started back in 2015. It's called Lucky. It's an LGBT sci-fi drama. That one is about a shapeshifter who travels to Earth to escape his destiny, but there's a bounty hunter there who has other plans for him. You might, if you've been following this YouTube channel for a while, before I started to private all of my videos out of just this weird insecurity I had about the way that I used to speak and the dumb advice I used to give, I talked about Lucky nonstop. It was my dream of all dreams to be able to work on Lucky full time. I tried to get it to take off as a Webtoon original. I did not stick the landing on that one. I was really, what's the word I'm looking for? Not devastated, but it was really uninspired after that level of rejection, which it was my fault, and I will take responsibility for that because I don't think I put my best foot forward. I was so excited. I just kind of fumbled the ball on that one. But after that, when I was really trying to make that my full-time thing, and then I realized maybe this isn't the project for me, maybe this isn't what I'm going to be doing full-time. I still love it, and I still 100% am always so excited anytime I get to work on it, even if it's a little bit at a time. In 2022, we started running with the concept of Haunting Dagger. It was something I was just doing for fun. It was based off of Monster of the Week campaign that I joined with a few of my friends, and me and my friend Mags came up with the two main characters of Haunting Dagger, and I started making little sketches and comics with them. And there was demand there. There was an audience for it. And so I told people, like, I really love doing this. I would love to make a comic doing this. But I'm also at a point in my life where I'm considering quitting art because my family's not doing great. My financial situation is not doing great. And the art thing hasn't worked out for me so far. I got to figure out something that is going to work out for me, because I got a kid and I got to take care of my kid. And it's not just about me anymore. If it was just me, I would struggle with my art for the rest of my life. I wouldn't care. I'm selfish. I love making art. But because there are other factors, there are other people who depend on me, I was at a point where I was having to have these hard conversations with myself. So I told people, if you really want a webcomic, we can do it. But I got to be able to support myself while doing it. So maybe check out my Patreon. The amount of support that I gained through Patreon from 2022 and on was so incredibly, I still don't feel like it's real. I still don't feel like it's real. I still wake up every day and I'm like, so I dreamt that, right? Like that, this isn't what I get to do. There's a lot of complicated, amazing feelings about it, but we don't have to get into it. So I've been working on Haunting Dagger since 2022, and it is currently on the last few pages of book 1. And I'm really excited about that because it means that I've finished something. I'm not done with the comic. The comic is not complete. In fact, a lot of people are surprised to hear that book 1 is the prologue of Haunting Dagger. Book 1 is essentially us setting up the story and the relationship of these characters. This is the slow burn part. And then book 2 is when we start getting into the monster of the week adventures that these characters have together, and also the romance, like the stuff that we've been putting off for the past 3 years. We finally get to indulge in that in book 2. So that's what I've been doing, and that is, I love getting to do this, and I know that I spend a lot of time talking about it, but I feel like it wouldn't be fair of me to have any sort of platform anywhere where I don't acknowledge that I wouldn't be able to do this if it weren't for the kindness and the generosity and the support of incredibly amazing people who decided, hey, I like what you're doing and I want you to keep doing it. So thank you guys so much. Whether you support me via engaging with my content or watching my videos or joining my Patreon or even just reading my stuff on Webtoon or wherever you can find it, I am very grateful for all of it. So thank you so much. I am just another guy that is stubborn about wanting to make art, and I'm glad that I get to do this. I'm glad that I didn't have to hang it up when I was at a point where I thought I was going to have to do that. The other thing, because I kind of skirted past it unintentionally, is that Lucky, the new episode, was completed last week on Patreon for the Fast Pass, and now it is up and available to read on Webtoon. I do want to say, disclaimer for anybody who's been waiting for the Lucky updates, this does not mean that it is officially back. It just means that when I am able to, whenever my Patreon goal surpasses that amount for Lucky so that I can do an additional 5th page on a weekly basis, I'm going to do that. And as soon as I have enough pages to format a full Webtoon episode, then I'm going to post it to Webtoon the week after the final page for that episode is finished. I cannot determine whether that's going to be a monthly thing and every other month sort of thing. I started this, I think I did the first 2 pages back in January. And then we fell below the goal, the Lucky goal, for a few months. And then I only just finished the last 3 or 4 pages this past month. So it's on and off. And that is because I am trying to be very careful with how much time that I have and how much time that I spend working on my comics. And I'll kind of explain a little bit why. So a few months ago, when I first started posting to YouTube Shorts more regularly, I made a post where I was saying, hey, I want to do a Q&A video, and I never did it. Of course I didn't. And I asked you guys if you had any questions or any topics you wanted me to go over. And some of you did leave me some questions that are really great. I'm going to pick a few to do here now because God knows I can't just do them all in one sitting. It's impossible for me to talk about anything for less than 5 minutes per topic per question. But one of the questions that I got from Mila Luloli, I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. The first question that they sent me was, 1, how do you deal with art burnout, plus your experience with it? And this is such a good question because if I'm not careful, there are a few things that you'll learn about me if you don't already know this. 1, I'm currently unmedicated with ADHD. So that's something that I am working towards figuring out how I need to manage it other than just raw dogging it, because I kind of hit a wall. Like, I hit a wall these past few years, and I realized that it was really causing a lot of mental, physical, and emotional stress on me regularly, and trying to maintain that wasn't going to be something that I could do long term. I'm not going to go into specific details, but I had a few health situations that came up over the past couple of years. And then I had one that came up recently that had me reevaluating a lot of what was going on in my life and a lot of the stress that I was putting on myself to get my work done. If you are somebody with ADHD, you might understand this. It is easier for me to accomplish things whenever I'm working under stress. Not that it's not impossible for me to do those things outside of a stressful situation, but it's easier for me to laser focus in on the task at hand, on the time that I'm using, and be able to better utilize my time and my project managing skills wherever they are, if they even exist in my world, to get things done. Now imagine if you were me, you had 4 comic pages that you had to complete on a weekly basis. That's not a lot for some people. I'm just going to throw that out there right now because somebody's going to say it. That's really not much. Webtoon artists do more, and you're correct. And I don't know how. I'm not that person. The other thing that I need to mention, because I don't think that I've mentioned it up to this point, I have a shoulder injury, and as of 3-4 weeks ago, you know what? It's been longer than that. I don't know time. As of a little over a month ago, I'm just making shit up at this point. I think it was in April that I had that situation and that diagnosis. I've been diagnosed with inflammation, not just in my shoulder now, but in my sternum and my rib cage. So there's pain that also goes into the work that I do, and I have to be careful to not stress myself, but not overwork myself. So I have these weekly deadlines, and I capped it at 4 pages a week in the very beginning because I knew if I tried to do any more than that, I wouldn't be able to. I have somebody who helps me with my flats, and on occasion they will also help me with inks, but I like to do my inks, so usually it's just flats for now. So I don't do it all 100% by myself, but I do about 80% of it by myself. So it's a lot of work for me to try to manage, and I know that 4 pages is my cap, and then I do a couple of little extra things on the side for Patreon if I have the time. Weekly, I was telling myself, well, it's Monday, I have the rest of the week to get everything done. And then I'd hit Friday and be like, oh crap, I've accomplished Tuesday and Thursday, but now I've got to churn out everything that I need for the weekend because my updates are Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday. And I was doing that weekly for 3 years. Wasn't good. I was dependent on me being stressed out and me being anxious for 3 years to get the work done. And that's just in relation to workflow, productivity, work ethic, etc., scheduling, time management. That alone could have stopped me in my tracks. And in fact, it physically did because of this health situation that came up recently. And I had to really sit down and set myself straight and say, okay, this is not something that I can maintain. This is not something that is going to be sustainable for the rest of forever. I need to be careful. I need to be aware of the time that I'm spending, and I need to plan ahead better than I have been doing. And I wasn't taking weekends off. I was working 7 days a week through the weekend over and over and over again. I got to the point to where my family would have to tell me like, hey, this holiday, you can't work. And I would argue with them. It's your birthday, you can't work. No, well, I have to. No, you have to take the day off. Like, that's what it would sound like. And then it just kind of hit me that I thought, this is not good for me. this is me talking about being a workaholic, but it goes hand in hand with burnout. I could have burnt myself out so quickly and so fast because I was being careless. I was pushing myself. I thought, inside note, this is a conversation that I have with my therapist. I thought that I didn't deserve to be a successful webcomic artist if I wasn't struggling for it, if I wasn't suffering for it, because there were so many other amazing, wonderful people who deserved it way more than I did, just based off of skill alone. So because I wasn't where they were as far as skill went, then maybe I just needed to struggle for it. Maybe I needed to make it harder for myself. Subconsciously, that's what I was working off of. And this is getting personal, but again, this is what I think about when I think of burnout. When it comes to dealing with burnout, one, you have to know your limitations. You have to know, I'm excited for this thing and I really want to get it done. And I know that it's going to take me a long time, but I'm excited about it now. I want you to think to yourself, well, what is this going to look like for me when it's the last thing that I want to do? When I wake up in the morning and I have this big project mapped out for me and I don't want to do any of it. How am I going to front load the things that I need to do for this project so that I can get some of the heavier lifting done in the beginning while I'm excited, and then the rest of it is more of a downhill trajectory? That's why I'm sketching and inking as many pages as possible today and tomorrow, so that for the rest of the week I can color them and then sketch the next batch. I don't typically do that. The reason I'm doing this is because I've already finished tomorrow's update. It's scheduled to post. I don't need to finish that update tomorrow. I finished it yesterday. Go me, good job. So I'm sketching and inking like my life depends on it because I hate doing that. I hate it. I hate sketching. I hate inking. It drives me crazy. But I know that I love coloring. And if I can get this done and send those pages over to my friend, my assistant who does my flats, then tail end of Tuesday and then Wednesday, I can start doing colors. I can finish those pages in bulk. And then by Thursday, I'm sketching and inking again. And it's great. And we're off to a great start. And it's going to be so much fun. And I have to take Friday off. Because, well, I'm not going to say why I'm taking Friday off, but I have to take Friday off. It's an important day. It's very special. And the other thing to avoid burnout, because let's think creative burnout. That's probably what more the question was about. In order to avoid creative burnout, you've got to make sure that you're intaking as much as you're putting out creatively. And I don't mean doom scroll for 4 hours and then doodle for 4 hours. I mean, you've got to watch movies that you love. Don't sit through a movie you despise. Don't do it. Watch movies that you love. Watch TV shows that inspire you. Go look at artists that inspire you. You like their art style. You like the way that they post new art every day. And I don't mean this AI slop crap. I mean actual genuine artists that you've been following for a while. One of my favorite artists that I came across this last year was, and I'm going to butcher their name, but Nefast Greentail, I believe. The artist who did their OC in like 24 different styles and knocked them out of the park. Incredible artist. I love scrolling through their profile because they're just posting stuff. They're just doing stuff every day. Like, they're always doing stuff. And I love seeing somebody make beautiful work, but also being consistent, because it motivates me to be consistent as well. It motivates me to try. Like, if they're capable of doing this, they make it look so easy, then I should be able to do it as well. Find something that motivates you in more ways than just, I want to make something great and beautiful, but in ways of seeing, because sometimes people will take that motivation and think, well, you know, comparison is the thief of joy. Don't compare yourself to other people. Don't look at other artists and think, why they're so amazing, I can't do that. Look at it as fuel. That inspiration is what pushes all of us to be creatively driven to reach higher goals. I would be so stagnant if I had never come across the work of other artists that I loved. I would have never tried to get into comics. I would have never tried to make my own original work. I would have never tried to develop an art style that I love. I would have just been stuck here. So consume things that you love, but also get the fuck away from drawing for a little bit. Go play some video games. Go hang out with your friends. Go hang out with your family. I know, well, not all of us have a great family. I understand that. I understand that. But go make a family. Well, that's not what I meant. Don't listen to me. That's not what I meant. Found family. Your friends can be family. That's what I meant, okay? Go be a part of your community. And I'm also incredibly antisocial. I get it. I'm a hermit, but sometimes some of the best ways that I can recharge is to just go out and be involved with people. Go do stuff at the school. Go do stuff at, like help people. Help somebody move. Ask your neighbor if they need you to walk their dog when they're at work during the day. I don't know. Like, be careful. Be careful. I'm not trying to set a bad example because I know somebody younger is going to listen to this and go knock on somebody's apartment door. Just be careful, okay? Go to somebody that you know and trust. Community is easy to find, but also, yes, be careful. No, follow your instincts. Oh God, I can't be trusted with anything. It's an incredible reality that we live in, that I have a child that I'm raising. Okay, listen, I have a limited amount of time that I can make these videos, and they're unscripted. So if I give you bad advice, I give you bad advice, and you're just going to have to take it with a grain of salt. Use what applies to you. Use what inspires you. Don't do every literal thing that I tell you to do, because honestly, I'm going to set you up for failure, and then you're going to wonder why it didn't work. You have to customize it. All right. And that's also the experience of being an artist, is you're going to find things that you love that other people do, and you hate it for your own work. You have to take bits and pieces, take what works for you, leave out all the rest. Anyway, but the other way that I avoid burnout is that I don't do the same thing over and over and over again, which is crazy because I've been working on Haunting Dagger for 3 years now, drawing the same characters over and over and over again. But that's why I have my Patreon comics, because while I'm working on Haunting Dagger, I do 2 pages of that a week. The other 2 pages, I'm doing a completely different comic that might not have anything to do with Haunting Dagger. Maybe it's some side characters from Lucky. Maybe it's some D&D characters. Maybe it's a couple of my friends' characters, like the Fisherman and the Selkie. You never know. We like to toss ideas around, do a lot of different stuff, and that keeps me from getting burnt out because I get to play around with different characters, different stories. As of right now, I'm working on a one-shot with characters that we created. Now, work with me here. Characters that we made as NPCs for a Hellboy role-playing game that we've been playing in. Mags has been running it for years now. They're side characters. They have nothing to do with our main party. But because we love them so much, I was like, I would love to do a comic with them one day. So that's what I'm doing right now. The style as it stands, these first few pages, is kind of a homage to the original Hellboy comics. It's very simplified, very flat, very, minimalistic color palette. And I'm obsessed with it because I've never done anything like this before. Trying new things, doing different things while you're working on your long-term projects. Remember, do things that you enjoy. Don't push yourself to do something that is miserable for you to do, because then you will get burnt out. Also, don't work 7 days a week. I don't know what's wrong with me. This is why I'm in therapy. Do not do that. Spend time with your family. Go see the movies. Sleep in on the weekends if you can, if you are able. I also understand that not everybody has all the time in the world to draw. So sometimes you can only draw when you're not at school, when you're not at work, whatever. Just make sure that you have time to breathe between your projects. If your art is how you unwind, then indulge in that. Don't let it become a stressor. If it becomes something that stresses you out, make sure that you are taking that time to find other ways to unwind outside of the work that is beginning to feel like obligation. Experiment, try new things, have fun, and most of all, and most importantly, create because you love to create. Fall in love with the process, fall in love with the work, the characters, the story. I don't care what it is. I hate sketching and inking, but I love this story so much that I endure. I endure every single day, and I'm very happy that I get to do this. I'm going to go now because I'm running out of time. I love you guys, and I appreciate you. If you like what I do and you want to help support my ongoing endeavor of making comics full time, please consider checking out my Patreon. It's all linked below. If you don't like that kind of stuff, my free-to-read webcomics, Haunting Dagger and Lucky, are completely safe for work and, again, free to read. So go check those out on WEBTOON. And if you haven't yet, go check out my new Instagram. My old one got banned. I don't want to talk about it. It makes me upset. But if you have any recommendations, suggestions, or requests for future videos, feel free to let me know in the comments below. I like making these, and I miss doing it. I hope that you all have a wonderful week, and I hope that you have fun creating whatever you're going to create this week. I'll talk to you later. Bye.